Larry Black along with Tom Kelly, and we're here to see the state championship in the middleweight division. Mark Zacharatos on the left of your screen and Larry Poor on the right in the white pants with his back to you. Zacharatos, 168 pounds, and Poor at 170 pounds. This is for the California State Middleweight Championship.
7 2-minute rounds, Larry, and they're wearing 10-ounce gloves. Anything below from the welterweight limit on down, you have got 8-ounce gloves. These are 10-ounce gloves. Remember now the minimum kick requirement for each man, 8 kicks. There's one. There's an example by Poor and another then thrown by Zacharatos. Each man has to come up with 8. Anything less than the required number of 8 per round will see him lose 2 points for every kick under the minimum requirement. So if he's got only 6, he's going to stand to lose 4 penalty points, and in a 10-point must system of scoring, those are very precious points indeed.
We've seen Larry Poor more than once here on ESPN. He's a very talented middleweight fighter, ranked number 9 in the world. And he dislocated his knee in his last fight. It was an unfortunate loss. He was fighting the number 2 middleweight contender, Jean-Yves Thériault. It was in Canada. It was a very good fight, but it ended early because of that dislocated knee. Poor is now on his way back after that knee dislocation, and he wants to show that he's still got what it takes to live up to his ranking, move up into those contender ranks, perhaps.
Each man has fulfilled the minimum kick requirement of 8, so there's no problem with penalty points in that regard. Good left hand by Poor, partially blocked. Front kick, and there's a side kick, and then another by Zacharatos. Zacharatos got a pretty good left hand. He dropped one in on the short ribs of Larry Poor a moment or two ago that got his attention. Not a bad left hand by Zacharatos. Pretty good left hand.
And Poor fighting out of that southpaw stance, using the left hand. You can hear those blows landing. Neither of these fighters is pulling their punches, but they have nice, crisp, short, straight punches. The deadly kind, the kind that if they land on the button, the fight could be over.
Nice right hand lead by Zacharatos. Good left. That right just slipped by, and they give each other a not too friendly after the bell tap. Each man in turn as they go to their respective corners.
That's the proverbial love tap, or lack of love tap.
7 rounds. There are 2 minutes in each round. You're looking at Larry Poor. Larry's from Sacramento, weighed 170 pounds. Here's some action from round 1. Those punches pretty well blocked by each man in turn. Pretty good left hand by Zacharatos and a right hand underneath the heart. Poor comes back with one. Zacharatos again with the left to the body. The body punches may not thrill the crowd, but believe me, they have a debilitating effect on the opponent if thrown properly.
Both fighters got in more than their minimum kicking requirement. Larry Poor kicked 14 times in that first round, and Zacharatos kicked 12 times of his own. So both these fighters are more than meeting their minimum kick requirement. We have MKR officials with cards holding them up so that the fighters know exactly where they stand as far as their minimum kicks. There's no excuse for not kicking 8 times in each round. These guys aren't just kicking. They're using those kicks very strategically, trying to draw the hands down and then raise the kick up to the head or use the hands on the head.
Good right-left combination started by Zacharatos. Didn't score that well. Zacharatos is still form shy. Now 3, now 2. Must get in 8. Minimum kick requirements again. Remember, they're 2-minute rounds, 7 of them. This will determine the middleweight championship here in the state of California.
Zacharatos is a respectable fighter. He has a record of 7-2 and has won 4 of his 7 by knockout. Larry Poor, on the other hand, has 11 wins, 4 losses, 1 draw, and has 2 KOs to his credit.
Good right hand to the midsection by Zacharatos. He still needs 1 more kick to satisfy the minimum requirement. There it is. So neither man faces any possible penalty points in that regard. And boy, they are digging some shots to the body.
Larry Poor said he was going to fight in this southpaw stance to confuse Zacharatos, but it looks as though Zacharatos is the one doing the confusing. He has Poor trapped in his own corner.
And laying a lot of leather on him. Poor is slipping a lot of punches, but being tagged with several. You can't get away from all of them.
As we've seen before, Poor has the ability to turn it on in later rounds, but Zacharatos looks as though he doesn't want it to go to later rounds.
He scored with a left and another, and Poor is down.
That was a straight left hand that sent Poor to the floor. He's shaking his head. I believe he's up at 8. But the question is, will it be continued at the bell? The referee stops the fight, and we have a second round knockout scored by Mark Zacharatos.
Zacharatos knocks out his man, unable to continue right at the bell in the second round as he got Poor in the corner, worked him over repeatedly. Several left hands that scored. You can see now as he forces him back into the corner. It was actually Zacharatos' corner, and he put Poor right in the corner of the ring and really worked him over. That left hand there hurt, that right hurt, the left, and you can see Poor's hands start to come down. Zacharatos digs to the body. There's a left that really nailed him, and Poor had had enough, thank you, and one can't blame him. He took an awful lot of leather.
You've got to give Zacharatos a lot of credit. There he is, happy Zacharatos, because he was aiming those shots, watching the shots go in, and he kept his eyes open, landed almost every shot he threw. That left, right on the button, sent Larry Poor down to the canvas.
His manager, the guy to the right, Bernie Crano, picked him up, carried him around the ring, and shouted, "We want everybody." I don't know if he was challenging the world or just the rest of the state of California, but he is the new champion in the middleweight division.
That middleweight championship for the world is still open. It's still vacant, and anyone is in contention, but we'll probably be seeing a new world champion within the next month or so. And Mark Zacharatos, Larry Poor both wanted a chance to move up in the rankings and see if perhaps they could be the man to fill Bill Wallace's shoes.
Zacharatos had left the ring, and it occurred to everybody that Shep Sanders hadn't made the victory official. Here he is now.
At the bell ending the second round, the fight was stopped by referee J.T. Will. Our winner by technical knockout, Mark Zacharatos.
And pronouncing Mark Zacharatos as Zacharato, but still it's a win, and he'll take it either way. That was for the middleweight championship of the state of California, and we still have coming up Tony Avalos and also Manny Johnston, two tough lightweights. Tony Avalos just moving up into the lightweight division from super lightweight.